Let's spread joy this Eid by giving gifts to orphans. Your donation can make a child's dream come true.
السلام عليكم، اسمي رافع العايد، عمري 6 سنين. أنا بشتغل بابا مات من عمري من سنة صغيرة. أنا أريد بالعيد لعابي. اسمي عايدة ولا 4. أتمنى بابا ميت. أحب للعيد أدي لعابي.
Sisters Rafal and Russell wanted dolls for their dua to come true. Thanks to your donations, made that happen.
Let's spread joy this Eid by giving gifts to orphans. Your donation can make a child's dream come true.
From hard-hitting, insightful discussions
Because when I come to the hadith, I look for
to shows for the whole family,
Welcome to 7 Steps to Heaven. Yes,
to shows that keep you on the edge of your seats,
The winner is Mullah Ali Zuhairi!
to live streams from the holy city of Karbala. There is something for everyone on Imam Hussein TV, your gateway to Karbala. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers of Imam Hussein TV 3, welcome back to another episode of Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I am your host for this evening, Sayyid Muthanna al-Musawi, and I am joined by a dear friend, an esteemed Sheikh Ali Ma'ash. Salam alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
Alhamdulillah. It's great to be here with you once again for this brand new episode and for a brand new season. Inshallah, we learn much more this season as well.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. To the viewers at home, for us to learn new things, for us to learn and gain more knowledge, you have to, of course, send in your questions. And to send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number shown below over here, 0741 509 2155, or for a quick shortcut, scan the QR code and it will take you to our WhatsApp. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions in the comment section, and inshallah, in all of the scenarios, the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. And without further ado, let us begin with the questions. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, Salaam alaikum. My 15-year-old son asked me how beating yourself in Muharram gives you thawab, and what is the benefit for ourselves. Is there any hadith or resources?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. It's part of the blessed narration by the Imam alayhi salam when he stated يحزنون لحزننا, that our Shia are those who would be sad in our sad occasions, and the numerous narrations about showing your sadness by crying, by weeping, the rewards are given for every drop of tears from the eyes of the mu'min for the calamities of Ali Muhammad sallallahu alayhi. It's numerous hadith mentioned, and the rewards that would be able to turn off the flame of the hellfire to this extent on Imam Hussein Azza sallallahu alayhi. So it's a huge reward for those who participate and commemorate this events of the Azza of Ali Muhammad sallallahu alayhi.
Speaking of that, Shaykhna, another question from WhatsApp. What is the logical reason for sinazani, which is chest beating, for Imam Hussein alayhi salam?
You see, logically, if you go back to narrations to the Holy Quran as well, that grievance is part of the way and the sunnah of the Anbiya alayhi salam. Adam cried for what he did. Other prophets cried. Nuh alayhi salam cried. Isa alayhi salam, in terms of Allah's worship, Musa alayhi salam, every prophet in somehow he had some kind of weep and cry before Allah Azza wa Jal. Yaqub alayhi salam cried for his son Yusuf for 40 years again. So these are valid reasons for the one to show grievance and sadness and weep for the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal. That's something is accepted. Like the way we show sadness and weep when we lose loved ones, a grandfather, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, we show that sadness clearly. So this is logically accepted, especially for somebody who is great, who's a role model, who's infallible, who represents Allah on earth, to be killed in this way, to be massacred in this way. So yes, this is a valid logical reason for us to weep and lament for this great individual.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaykhna, for that nice explanation. To the viewers at home that are just tuning in now, this is, of course, Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices, and principles. And this show works in 3 steps. Step number 1, you send in your questions either via calling, either via texting, or either via the YouTube comment section. Step 2, I ask the Sheikh your questions, and step number 3, the Sheikh answers. So do send in your questions, and inshallah together we can gain as much knowledge as possible. Shaykhna, carrying on from WhatsApp, I want to pay my religious dues. Who should I pay them to?
You should just pay to your marājiʿ, for example, or if you can't reach him, then his representative in your own country, your local mosque, for example, the alim that you follow. You pay him these dues to his representative, for example.
Okay, thank you very much. Understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And from WhatsApp, Salaam Alaikum. I work in the transportation industry. I pick up and drop off cars, and many times when Dhuhr or Maghrib time arrives, I have customers with me, and at times my prayer is delayed about 30 minutes, sometimes longer. Is that okay?
The recommendation is that one to pray on time when the adhan is called. However, if you can't due to workloads and so forth, then you can still pray later than that time given. But make sure it doesn't go beyond the time. Make sure that you pray your Dhuhr Asr before sunset, or your Isha and Maghrib before midnight, and the Fajr before sunrise. That's very important.
Okay,
that you pray within the time given.
Within the time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And actually they have a further question. And also, I live in Toronto, so 7 to 8 months out of the year the weather is too cold or many times wet, and I can't pray outside like I usually do. Does that give me a reason to pray in the truck sitting?
If you can pray inside the actual,
the van.
The van, the truck, where you put the goods inside. I think there's enough space to go back and pray inside the actual truck itself.
Okay. So there is, of course,
because the priority given to that you have to pray stand up towards the Qibla. That's the priority given.
That's the priority.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. And from YouTube, Salaam Alaikum. Why do some marājiʿs allow saying Aliyun Waliyullah in Tahajjud when the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't teach this?
You see, we go back to two main sources of tashri'. Kitabullah, as the Prophet said, وَعِتْرَةِ أَهْلِ بَيْتِ, and my progeny. And when you go back to the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, you see that, for example, Imam Sadiq said, if you say La ilaha illallah, then say Muhammad Rasulullah, then say Ali Waliullah. So there's encouragement from Ahlul Bayt to say the third Shahada. Now inside the Salah, this is something, again, there is a narration for it, but of course,
Yes.
many ulama didn't accept it.
Okay.
But like Atullah Shirazi would accept it, that you can say it inside the Salah, according to his opinion as ijtihad. So you go back to your marājiʿ with this regard. But anyhow, we take the rest of the tashri' from Ahlul Bayt Salamullah anhum, who interpret the hadith of Rasulullah and his sunnah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. So they follow up the Prophet's tradition as he stated in his time.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much. And from WhatsApp, is donating towards a gamer for playing a game is halal?
It depends what type of game is it. Is it a gambling game? Then that's forbidden. But you donate towards football. Let's say you want to set up a football league, for example, for the youths. That's fine. For the school, let's say in the local mosque, for example, it should be fine.
So what this person is doing is he's simply just a gamer. He's playing a game and people are watching him, and people are then giving him a gift of money, as in donating money to him. Is that halal? Is that fine to do?
As long as it's not gambling, or it's not some kind of forbidden types of games played, for example, it should be fine. It's like a trade. I think there are some jobs in central London where you would be paid for testing the games. So they test the salary or wages.
I'd love to do that.
Test the games. Yeah.
Okay, understood. But of course, there's better options where you can donate towards, such as Imam Hussein Charity or Imam Hussein TV. To the viewers at home, of course, you can donate towards the Imam Hussein TV or Imam Hussein Charity with the links that will be shown at the end of the episode. But before that, of course, we are still in Ahkam SOS mode. So do send in your questions, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. To send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number, or scan the QR code, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions in the comments section, and inshallah in all of the scenarios, the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. Carrying on from WhatsApp, is it permissible to use in our foods oils derived from fish that are forbidden to us? And what about using such oils for other matters?
No, you have to check before you buy these oils that the fish oil is derived from a fish which has scales, like salmon, for example. What is the other type of fish which is eaten? The one with the scales, with scales, for example. The famous
Cod,
fish and chips,
salmon, tuna.
These are the ones. Yeah, you can use the oil.
Okay, and that is, so if they don't have shells, we can't, of course, use the oils for food purposes.
Yes.
What about for other purposes?
External use.
So
like a cream, that should be fine.
That should be
for
fine.
the external, yeah.
For the external.
Not for consuming.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much. So the actual oil is not negus?
No.
Right, we just can't eat it?
It's not. No.
Okay, thank you very much.
The fish is tahir, yeah.
And from WhatsApp, is lying to my father for going on a trip haram?
Lying is forbidden.
Lying
especially
is forbidden.
To your parents, to your brothers, sisters, to the mu'mineen, yes, it's forbidden.
What if, Sheikhna, what if the parents put a lot of limits on you, and you need, of course, a holiday? Everyone needs or looks forward to a holiday. What if the parents put a limit and they don't allow that? Would you then have to go to such extreme measures to lie to your parents?
No, you have to put some others in the middle, like your uncle, aunties, to talk to them, to persuade them somehow. Otherwise, you can't lie. No.
You can't lie?
No.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. To the viewers at home, this show works in 3 ways. Ahkam SOS, after all, is all about seeking knowledge. So the first step is by sending your questions, anything that you have, a gap in the knowledge, anything that you want to reaffirm your knowledge with, anything that you would like to learn more about, send them in. Ask your questions. Don't be shy. Don't be hesitant. And inshallah, the Sheikh will answer your questions for you. To send in your questions, of course, step 1 being sending in your questions either by calling with the number shown below over here, sending in a WhatsApp message with the number shown below over here, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions in the comment section. Further, after that, I will then ask the Sheikh that your questions, which is step 2 and step 3, the Sheikh will answer your questions. So do send in your questions. Don't be shy, don't be hesitant, and inshallah, we can all gain knowledge together. Sheikh, now from WhatsApp, how many, sorry, where is that? From WhatsApp, how does one perform Hajj?
Hajj, as the Quran states, Man istata'a ilayhi sabila. You must be capable, you must have the means, i.e. the money, the passport, the visa, the safe route towards Hajj. All has to be accomplished so you can go to Hajj. Otherwise, if you're not mustati', let's say bodily, you're not ill, you're not sick, you have the means, the money, then of course Hajj becomes wajib on you.
Wajib.
You have to go in this case.
Okay.
Otherwise you become disobedient if you didn't go to Hajj. So when you have all these means of Hajj, you must go, if it's the first Hajj of course. Otherwise it's just once in your lifetime would be enough to go to Hajj.
Okay, okay, understood. And then a further question from WhatsApp, Sheikh. If one had the means to go towards ziyarah and one also had the means to go towards Hajj, which one should he go towards?
It depends. If it's Hajj, wajib Hajj, first time Hajj, then you have to go to Hajj.
You have to go to
That's the wajib, you have to go. Yes.
But other than that, if it's not the
Of course,
wajib Hajj?
Ziyarat Hussein Salamullah alayhi.
Salamullah alayhi. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikh. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I live in America and I'm planning to buy my first home. I want to go through a halal mortgage provider, but I noticed that the final paperwork is signed with a conventional bank. Does this make the transaction haram?
Signing with non-Muslim banks for, let's say, trade or mortgage, that's even allowed, as I've said before, that your first home you can even buy with mortgage, i.e. by paying interest, because you're in need of this property, you have difficulty with paying rent, for example, it's rising and so forth. So to buy your first home with mortgage is fine. And to deal with the non-Muslim banks also is fine in terms of dealing with the interest. Of course, paying you shouldn't pay unless somebody is compelled to do so. Otherwise, receiving is fine, you just have to pay the khumus on the interest received from these banks.
Okay.
So
okay.
it should be fine.
They actually had some further explanations. They say, even though I'm making payments to a halal mortgage company, they are receiving the funds from a bank that charges interest. Would that make the arrangement impermissible?
As I've said, if it's your first home, you're in need of that first home. Even if you pay the full 100% interest on the mortgage, still that is valid because you are in need of that. You're compelled to go through this process of paying the mortgage with the interest because you need that first home. Of course, for the second home would be an issue. For investment, that's not what is allowed. So that's a different issue.
Okay, okay, understood. And then from WhatsApp, can I buy a lottery ticket from a supermarket?
The lottery that promotes or gives to the charity organization, like the UK National Lottery, for example, where most of the money goes towards the hospitals, charitable organizations, orphanage, and so forth. That kind of lottery you can buy with the intention of giving hadiyah or gift, rather than the intention of winning.
Okay,
that's important.
Is that similar with how raffles that many majalis and many mawalid events happen in our local mosques and Husseyniyat, where a lot of the people that donate towards a raffle sometimes have the intention of winning? Does that become haram?
No, that's different. That's for the local mosque. Usually it's all given as a donation. Well, of course, someone expects something as a payback, but in overall, that's fine for the Islamic centers and mosques.
Okay. For another way for them to raise financial funds. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikh. To the viewers at home, we are roughly 20 minutes into the episode, so do send in your questions before it is too late. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till the next episode, which will be on Thursday. We have now changed to Mondays and Thursdays. Our next episode will be on Thursday at 7 p.m. So make sure to tune in then. And if you would not like to wait that long, send in your questions now. And inshallah, the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. Just before we get back into the questions on my iPad, I believe we have a phone call. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Okay, it seems that the caller has closed the phone. If you would like to call again, please do call again, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer your question. Without further ado, let us now go for a break, and inshallah we see you after the break. Before that, of course, the Sheikh has something that I would like to say to us. Sheikhna.
Indeed, this is the month of Dhul Qa'dah, one of the Ashhur al-Hurum. And then we have the Hajj. If you are, again, the question which we asked a couple of minutes ago, if you are mustati', capable, you have the money, the means, it's wajib on you to go to Hajj. If you haven't been before, Hajjatul Islam, first Hajj in your lifetime, make sure that you join one of the groups who are going to Hajj. It's wajib. And if you have been to Hajj already, you want to go for mustahab Hajj on behalf of those who marhumin, for example, or as niyabah, as they say, then you can do so as well. So it's a great opportunity. Don't miss Hajj this year. If not, if you can't afford it, then of course Arafah in Karbala would be a great opportunity to go to the ziyarah of Hussein Salamullah on day of Arafah.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us be a part of that, inshallah. Just before we go on break, thank you very much, Sheikh. Now, just before we go on break, we actually received a comment now from YouTube. Salam alaikum, Sheikh. And Sayyid Muhsin. I just wanted to say salam and thank you for answering my questions recently. You're welcome. You're welcome. And inshallah, we see you after the break. See you soon.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of scholars.
Is it permissible to plant trees by or
was
over
Islam
the
established
graves?
based on peace and
non-violence? Is it permissible to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim countries?
Is there an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 092155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
Assalamu alaikum. We are back after the episode with the remainder of the episode, Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. We are back after the break, inshallah. I hope that you managed to send in your questions while we were on a break. If you have not done done so yet, please send them in now before it is too late and you will have to wait till the next episode, which will be on Thursday at 7 p.m. Just to reiterate, I am not Sayyid Muhsin, I am Sayyid Muthanna. So thank you very much and you're welcome. And carrying on with the questions, Sheikhna from WhatsApp, Salam alaikum. Is it sunnah to have a kunya?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ahlul Bayt Salamullah, they had this kind of naming their children even before they get to the age of adolescence or marriage. Abu Abdullah, for example, Abu Hassan and so forth. So they had the kunya even before their marriage, yes. That was common within the Imam's time, Salamullah alayhi. Yes.
So should we as Shia Muslims, followers of the Ahlul Bayt in modern day, also decide kunyas for our children?
We have to see what the ulama say.
Okay.
Disregard.
Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. To the viewers at home, please do send in your questions, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer them. After all, this show is all about gaining as much knowledge as possible. If you have any questions that you'd like to know about, if you have any gaps in your knowledge, if you have any parts in your knowledge that you would like to reaffirm, that maybe you've forgotten slightly and would like to remember it, a quick reminder, of course, the Sheikh is always here. The Ahkam SOS team is always here. There is no need to be shy or hesitant to send in your questions. Sometimes even I have questions and I ask the Sheikh, and I have access to the Sheikh very, very quickly. He's always right next door in the office with me. He's a dear friend, of course, and will always answer my questions, and he can do so for you all at home as well. So do send in your questions, and he will be a dear friend for you all and answer your questions. To send in your questions, of course, all you need to do is call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199. By calling in, you get to skip the queue completely and ask the Sheikh in person straight away, okay, and get your answers straight away. Or if you would like, you're a bit shy, you don't want people to hear your voice, that's completely fine. Then send in your questions on the WhatsApp number shown below over here, or if you would like, scan the QR code as a quick shortcut to our WhatsApp. And finally, another method is via the YouTube comment section, and inshallah in all scenarios the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. And without further ado, it seems that we have a phone call. Let us go to that now. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Just a second. Seems we can't hear you at the moment. Please do call us again, and inshallah we will be here to answer your questions. After all, the Ahkam SOS team behind the scenes works very, very hard. So do call in again, and inshallah we will be able to answer your question very, very soon. And then moving on from WhatsApp, Sheikhna, someone is asking about qada salat. How can someone perform that?
The qada of the salah, straightforward. You pray, for example, you go, let's say 1 month qada of salah, then you start praying Fajr 2 rak'ah, and then Dhuhr Asr 4x4, and then Maghrib Isha 3x4. So you follow the sequence, you repeat it many times to fulfill that 1 month missed salah.
Okay, okay. And then a follow-up question, Sheikhna. What if someone's parents, la samahullah, pass away? And they had qada salat, how would their children then make up for those prayers? Would they pray it themselves, or is there an option where they could pay someone who would then pray it on their behalf?
Yes, they can do both.
They can do both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either the son prays or pay somebody to do it.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikh. And from WhatsApp, salam alaikum. Sheikh, one question has been bothering me. When Adam and Eve gave birth to children, who did these children marry and bear children? Not to each other, astaghfirullah.
Of course, our narrations of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam that Allah created for them ladies to marry, rather than marrying brothers and sisters as the Ahlul Sunnah have, that they married brothers and sisters. And the haram is haram since Adam, as I said before. Whatever was haram, it began from Adam alayhi salam. So alcohol, adultery, the marriage of the brothers and sisters. So Ahlul Bayt salamullah taught us that no, that's not acceptable. Of course, Allah created and He's able. Qadir, Qadir Muqtadir. He created the ladies for those sons of Adam alayhi salam, they got married to them.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for clearing that up for us. And from YouTube, are blood tests haram? And what if I need to do it for health or medical purposes?
No, it's not haram. It's
not haram.
Yeah,
it's allowed. So it's completely fine to do.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, I heard some say that thunder is the voice of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Is this true or a metaphor?
I'm not sure about it.
Very, very Interesting, very, very interesting. To you all at home, of course, this show is all about gaining as much knowledge. So do send in your questions, whether it is something you've heard and you'd like to understand more about, something you've learnt and you'd like to understand more about, or something you would like to know more about. Send them in here, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. From YouTube, are humans the best of species? Ashraf al-makhluqat, better than jinns or not?
The Quran states لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم, that we made the man in the best form. Yes, as long as this mankind is obedient to Allah Azza wa Jal, pious, doesn't oppress, merciful, respectful to the rest of the humanity, would be the best, of course, even greater than Malaika, even greater than the angels. The angels would be servants of this mu'min or mu'minah. So yes, indeed, the human is the best of the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, if they have fulfilled the God's obligations and guidelines, of course.
Okay, and from YouTube, Salaam Alaikum, should a Muslim ruler allow or prohibit the worship of idols in his country?
It depends on the just ulama, fuqaha. They have to go back to them and speak to them, yes. It's something to do with the scholars and mujtahideen and ulama.
Very, very interesting question, actually. It seems a Muslim ruler is a whole ruler of a country is asking a question on Ahkam SOS. We've gotten big. Sheikhna, from YouTube, why is the Quran that Imam Ali alayhi salam compiled has been passed on to his Shi'as?
Because the companions refused when he came out. After a few days, he was compiling. Of course, the Quran was already compiled. The actual Quran, the words that we have today, was already compiled. Imam Ali salam, what he did, he added tafsir, ta'wil, tanzil, around, as a commentary on this Quran. But of course, the companions refused this Quran because it will reveal and expose some of the companions who were hypocrites. That's why they refused Imam Ali's tafsir and tanzil and ta'wil, which was with the names and pointing towards specific individuals who betrayed, as the Quran said, انقلبتم على عقابكم.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, will the day of judgment be soon? I know we do not know when, but what are the signs that it is coming soon? Also, what's the difference between Farj and the day of judgment?
We have a long way to go for the Qiyamah day, because we have initially the day of the Dhuhr, the Imam's reappearance, and then we have his long term of leadership, and then we have the Raj'ah, the return of the Imam alayhi salam and the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's going to be a long day before the judgment day, of course. We have a long way to go.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, do we need 2 witnesses for temporary nikah?
No, for the divorce, yes, you have to have 2 just witnesses for the divorce, but not for the nikah, no.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And it seems we finally got our caller to call back. Let us see. Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you doing there, brother? You okay?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I've got a question regarding my grandmother.
Okay, ask away.
So she's got an hemorrhoid, and we can't find a female surgeon to operate. She's been in pain for 6 months. There are male surgeons available to do the surgery, but is this allowed? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. Inshallah, may your grandmother get up in health, inshallah, very, very soon. Sheikhna, so our dear brother is asking for his grandmother. So his grandmother has got a medical situation going on, and they cannot seem to find a female doctor. Of course, there are male doctors. What can they do in such a situation where it's in such of an emergency, or where the grandmother is in a lot of pain? What can they do in this situation?
Of course, if they can't find the same gender doctor, then they can switch to the opposite gender doctor as a result, because it's something urgent and required, then they can do so. There's no other option. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And Sheikhna, just a quick word to our dear brother on the health of his grandmother. Inshallah, a quick dua on his grandmother.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. May Allah give full health to the mother of this brother, inshallah. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى
محمد. Thank you very much, dear brother, for calling in. If you do have any further questions, please do call in, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer your questions. To all the other viewers, as you have just seen, our dear brother got to call in a matter that was urgent for him, and you can also all call in as well for any matters that are urgent. Any questions that you'd like to ask, do call in. All you need to do is call the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer. Sheikhna, from YouTube, sorry. Salaam alaikum. I would like to know about the huquq of a wife.
Of course, in terms of the right of a wife from the husband is to respect her. That's number one. Number two, as a wajib haq, is to feed her, clothe her, and accommodate her. Three main wajib upon the husband towards the wife.
Okay.
To accommodate, clothe, and feed this wife. And of course, the respect would be something, would be roaming around this household, because without respect, you cannot continue the life.
Okay.
As a spouse.
As a spouse. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from WhatsApp, I am a female doctor and I will start my specialization. And for that, I will have a male co-worker. If I keep to the point work-related relationship with them, the whole department feels offended. Plus, there are certain male colleagues who excel in the field. So if I make friends with them for my learning and growth, is it permissible in Shia fiqh?
Within the boundary of the Sharia, as long as it's a professional, let's say, communication, or let's say, in a way that wouldn't exceed the Sharia boundary, should be fine. So a male can somehow communicate with the female at work within professional level, but not to exceed that level by banter, jokes, and try to respect, the boundary within the Sharia.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. We've got several questions remaining and we don't have long left on the episode, so let us go quickly through the questions. From YouTube, can you tell us more on how to prepare yourself spiritually in readiness for Hajj?
Yes, indeed, one should, if you are capable to go to Hajj, then make sure that you ask forgiveness from your friends, family members, call them, talk to them, that, to forgive you any shortfalls, any sins, any insults, for example. So you ask forgiveness. Number two, you start learning the ahkam of the Hajj, the rituals. Just briefly, what are the stages of the Hajj? You have the Umrah, you have the Hajj, and so forth. Try to learn the ahkam of the Hajj and the procedures of the Hajj. And of course, try to begin reciting some ad'iyah with this regard, asking Allah Azza wa Jal to give you the tawfiq to go to Hajj and to be one of the best trips in your lifetime, inshallah.
Inshallah. And Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, I have a friend who is skeptical on Islam. However, they are open to it. How do I safely approach him and guide him to the deen, inshallah?
Of course, maybe you have to start logically about the reason for religion, the reason to follow a guideline, the reason to obey someone who is a creator, for example. So you have to start logically with these individuals rather than just bring verses or narrations. That's why should we follow, as I've said before, taqleed from the alim, to follow, imitate, or take your fatwa from alim is something logical, like the way when you take a prescription from your doctor and you don't argue with him that why is it many doses, for example, why is it this specific medicine and not the other one. So it's all logical that we have to go back to those who have more knowledge in all fields. So start with him logically first. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. I'm engaged to a woman who she recently changed her aqidah. She was a Shia 12 Ja'fari. Now she believes in the 24 Imams following Ahmad al-Hasan Yemeni. What should I do?
Try to guide her, speak to her. Otherwise, to be with a wife who has a corrupt aqidah, that's problematic.
Okay.
So one should avoid that if they can. Yeah.
Or they can, inshallah, guide.
Guide, as I've said. Yeah. Guide.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Imam Ali alayhi salam married the second caliph, Umar, to a female jinn because he was forcing Imam Ali alayhi salam to give him Bibi Kulthum ibn Ali. Is it true?
I've read this incident, but I'm not sure if it's a correct hadith or I'm not sure. It's mentioned in one of the books. Yeah. I'm not sure.
And from YouTube, what happens when the Imam of the prayer prays Salat Qasr?
You can't pray behind an Imam who prays Salat Qasr, and you have to stand up on the second rak'ah and continue your third or fourth rak'ah.
Okay, so you just continue.
Continue.
Okay.
Yeah. Although it's better to pray behind an Imam who prays full rather than just Qasr.
Yeah. That makes sense. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And from YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. I read a hadith by Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam in which it is stated that women should pray with their hands on their chests. Is this how women should pray, or with the hands on their sides?
No, on the sides. There's no on the chest.
Sides.
No.
Okay, maybe it's a Sunni hadith or something like that. That's probably incorrect. To the viewers at home, we are nearing the end of the episode very, very soon. So, before it gets too late, do send in your questions, and inshallah, you can send them in now. Inshallah, we can answer them now. Otherwise, you'll have to wait till next week's episode. Not next week's episode, this Thursday's episode, and inshallah, we will answer you then. But before it is too late, send them in now. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, what kinds of fish are we allowed to consume?
The ones with scales.
The ones with scales.
Yeah, like cod and salmon, and the like.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for being with us throughout the whole episode. We have now reached the end of the episode. Do send in your questions on our next episode, which is Thursday at 7 p.m. And inshallah, we can answer you then. Just a couple of things that I'd like to run by you before we end the episode. Of course, you can follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Imam Hussein TV 3, and also follow us on our Instagram, Ahkam SOS. Another thing is you can donate towards the Imam Hussein TV 3 channel, which is where you can donate and help us build the many sets around you. Also, another place you can donate towards is www.ihtv.co/HQ, which is the Zainabiyya complex. We are currently in the process of building a brand new studio, which you can be a part of. You can be a part of the mission that is Imam Hussein TV 3, and you can help us towards that goal. So do donate, and inshallah we see you soon on Thursday at 7 p.m. See you soon. Fi amanillah.
I think it's everyone's dream to work and serve the Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam.
Working with this project allows us to contribute back to the community.
Our main objective is to bring Imam Hussein to every household, or to take people to Karbala.
Producers, cameraman and editors all synchronize to capture, inspire and bring you closer to Abu Abdullah.
Working here is an honor and a privilege, yet nothing compared to the sacrifice of Imam Hussein alayhi salam.
Pass on the lantern of Imam Hussein.
Why should you support?
Why should you support?
Why should you support?
Imam Hussein TV is our Husseiniyyah to the world.
It's an open university to learn theology, history, law, Quran, and many more sciences.
Many rely on our channel as they have no access to any Husseiniyyahs or any mosques.
And they have no access to any community events nor scholars, and they solely rely on our broadcasting.
Children in the West have so many questions to ask about the faith.
We aim to educate youth and reverts in a thoughtful manner and language which is interactive, easily digestible and understood.
Our project is fully crowdfunded. We have no sales, no business, no profits.
If you do not support us, who will?
If you do not open a channel, who will?
And if you do not raise the flag of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, who will?
We have been operating since 2016, and we have brought to you shows like Morning Barakah,
Ahkam SOS,
Her Thoughts,
and the debate show.
We also have created many documentaries on topics such as the death of the Prophet ﷺ,
Miracles in Arba'in,
non-Shias visiting Karbala,
and most importantly,
we bring you Karbala live.
Karbala Live.
Karbala live.
Karbala live.
Labbayka ya Hussein.
سلت عباس عمره 7 سنين. بابا ميت مستقل بابا. أريد بابا بالعدي يشتري لي سيارة.
Sanad wanted an SUV, and thanks to your donations, we made his dua come true with Imam Hussein charity. Look how happy he is. A smile like that costs nothing, and for these guys, it's priceless.
Let's make sure no orphan feels left out this Eid. Donate to our campaign and help us bring a smile to their faces.
This is your generosity come to life. Our team in Karbala are busy assembling and delivering iftar packs with your donations. Witness the impact of your support as we reach out to feed the orphans, the vulnerable and the needy with 100,000 meals this Ramadan. We don't want to stop here. Please continue to contribute in helping to make a world of difference. Support Imam Hussein charity today in Africa, Iraq and Afghanistan.